No, Woody, you're with the pro boxer. What? Fucking hell, someone ring my mum, tell her all my money's under the sofa, man. I've been saying to this guy, it's not fair you want to keep me in a job. Missed the goal, got into the crowd. Bang, it smashed this lady, she must be about 60, reading the programme, smashed her in the face, glasses, off her chair, she's out. I can hear fucking wheeze. Fucking hell, Gaffer, fucking Woody's killed a lady in the stand. Well, I'm telling you, get a fucking pen and sign it. He said, and get yourself sacked from that job as quick as you can. He said, there's full pay up in there. He said, you wouldn't even fucking hit me if I come at you, would you? I was thinking to myself, I don't know. I'd probably have a go. Are you better off playing 500 games, like I did, or you're better off having 10 million quid in the bank?
Yeah.
I went for the 500 games. I can tell you live and there, that's the wrong decision.
How are we doing?
Get Woody on it.
Too soon?
Maybe a couple of more words from him. I think a couple more words would have probably be more beneficial. What an episode.
Pissed on the bonfire there.
I know, yeah.
How are we doing? Episode 2, Series 11.
You all right?
Well, yes, I'm good.
Good.
I'm good.
How are you looking?
Downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh, little mention to our sponsors for the episode, Manscaped. They are the number one men's below the belt
Grooming kit.
grooming kit. Yes. Well then, John.
Can't recommend it highly enough.
No, mine have never smelt so good. Never looked, smelt, and felt so good.
Oof. Precision engineering tool for the family jewels. How you like that one? It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Incredible. It's
You
an
just let it do all the work. I love
yeah.
it.
No need to add no pressure. No,
Don't force it.
No.
no pressure. Just get it down there. Get the bits you need doing. Bush, job done.
They've got the top engineers on it from NASA. I don't know, but they're really good engineers. Because, right, the last thing you want to be doing is nicking the old nuggets when you're having a trim. And with these,
It's painful.
with this
is
bit
the
of
gear,
kit,
though. This is the
no
gear, you can
fret.
say.
Well, that's the one.
Because I do
this
get
is
sweaty balls.
With
And the
the,
ball deodorant
it's,
is textbook.
so with the code COSH20 as well, as listeners and viewers of the podcast, you get 20% off. That's 20% off and no postage and packaging.
Good value.
Oh, you get all sorts in here. You get a little charger. You get my little pouch here. The trimmer. The 3.0 trimmer for your balls. Keep them smooth. And what else do you get?
Deodorants.
Deodorant and toner.
Oh, this is the one.
Oh.
Get on the old nose. Get in the ears. Keep them trimmed. 79% of ladies and gentlemen said it was a bit of a turn-off.
Really?
I can see
You've
that.
got the old
I
stragglers.
think I'll
coming
be
out
part of
the
that 79.
ears. Yeah.
The thing is,
You're backing up if she's got a few weeds.
air's coming out of yours like a fucking fishing net coming down.
Excellent.
But no, it's all in there and you get 20% off with the code COSH20. All you've got to do is go to manscaped.com and put in the code COSH20.
The perfect gift.
off.
Struggling to buy for someone, the perfect gift.
Any birthdays coming up or whatever, great present.
So we'll do part 2, gentlemen. Better than the first one.
Is that what you're saying?
Big
Putting it out
statement.
there. Better than the first one.
That is a big statement because I really enjoyed the first one.
The Charlton stories, the Newcastle stories, unbelievable.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, the keeper that came on for Woody when he got sent off for Exeter messaged us, Ross Bellotti,
Right,
and he said Woody was unbelievable around the changing room.
And was he 15, 16?
16, I think he was. Yeah,
Ah, there we
he
go,
sent us
good
the,
to say.
newspaper clippings of his games and stuff.
You can see our people love him right through
Yeah.
now, can't you?
If I'm a manager, I'm making him my first signing as coach, keeper coach.
I wonder why he's
I'll
not
make a job for him.
I wonder why he's not got a thing with England.
I know. Yeah, must have a job for life or whatever.
He's doing the youth at Arsenal now,
Yeah.
isn't he? So he must be doing it.
But didn't you get a message off him about the England manager?
Yeah, crying with laughter, apparently.
Who, Gareth?
Big
So
Jake.
we've made Gareth laugh.
We've entertained the England manager.
Yeah. Apparently he's asking us to go and do the Euros. He wants us to go and do an episode with him, live for the lads. You know,
He went to motivational talk.
team morale.
4-4-2, lads.
We'll be dancing on the bar like Mike Bassett. Yeah. But no, he's
You're lying, John.
I'm talking shit, yeah, of course I am, yeah. As if.
Peter Beardsley. Apparently he was loving it, so I don't know how he knows about it.
Peter Beardsley? How do you know that?
What he said?
Oh,
He said he's had loads of messages.
Messages
Being
from
the
people
manager.
that have listened.
Yeah.
so Peter Beardsley's
Right,
message.
Peter.
Big Pete.
Big Pete.
Yeah, you were a great.
Hopefully listen to the audio.
Gareth as well. Hiya, Gareth.
Hi guys.
Mr. Southgate, how are we doing? Hey, good luck at them Euros.
Yeah,
Do not, whatever you do, take fucking Dele Alli. It's fucking crap. Do not take Dele. Leave Dele at home. Let him go to Dubai with family.
Oh, well, that's exciting news.
I didn't
It's
realise
nice
Peter Beardsley's message, would it?
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
We'll have to get him on.
Peter, it's a heartfelt invitation from us to you. Would you like to come on the show, Peter? We'd love to have you on.
Yeah, love to see you, Peter.
Your hero, innit?
Come on down. Oh yeah.
Big Liverpool fan, weren't you, back in the day?
Hey, but he played for Bolton.
Did he?
Peter.
Yeah, he
His
did.
Twilight years.
Must have been about 76, wasn't he, when he
Yes,
played
something
Bolton?
like that, something like that.
He carried on for a while, bless him, didn't he?
Should we get Woody back in?
Yes.
But just a quick, Peter or Gareth, if you want to come on, you're more than welcome.
And if you before we get going, if you are enjoying the episodes, we've got the bonus ones on the Patreon, which
Yes.
helps support the podcast on it and helps us keep going. So just go on over to patreon.com, the link's in the description, /Undr The Cosh. £2.50 a month and you get 2 extra episodes.
There must be
There's a good
there must be
25.
25 plus on there now and all. You get the back catalogue. So, what more can you want?
And if you haven't already, please subscribe.
Yes.
This is a heartfelt message.
Yeah, this is us begging.
Peter.
This is us begging.
Peter, hit that subscribe button, Peter.
Come on, Gareth. Hit that subscribe, Mr. Southgate.
Come on then, Woody.
Let's
Let's
get him
be
in.
having you.
Graham Westley. Graham Westley.
Did you do anything before you signed for him?
Well, it's funny because I got the call to go and have a speak to him, and weirdly enough, I think I might have been on a golf day or something like that, and I bumped into Steve Coppell. And I said, "Hi, Gaffer, how you keeping?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "We up to say I'm going to go have talks with Stevenage." And he went, "Oh." He said, "Seriously, fucking think hard about that one." And I thought, what's he on about? Like, he said, "He's a fucking head case." I thought, well, it can't be that bad. I've fucking had hackers for years. Fuck me. And anyway, I went and had talks with Graham Westley, and fuck me, I was like, what a man. I was like, he said, we're going to do this, I'm going to be part of this. I come out there, I rang with Miss, I said, I'm signing for him. He's fucking on it, this geezer. He wants to keep it professional, and oh my God, I couldn't be further from the truth. Fucking disaster. We'd lose a game on a Saturday, and fucking 7 o'clock on a Monday, we'd be running up and down the pitch, and he'd be sitting in his Batman. We called it the Batmobile. He used to have this black
Bentley.
No, he didn't have a Bentley. He had a Mercedes with his lights on the phone while we was just running up and down on the pitch, 7 o'clock in the morning, pissing rain. And we said, look at him in a fucking Batmobile while we're running like that. And that's what he'd do to us. And then he was crackers, mate.
I can see what you said when you spoke to him. You thought incredible.
Yeah, I was blown away. And then after a game, did he ever do that? Like go through everyone's performance and like mark them. So we had he'd be like, I thought you was a 5 out of 10 today. I was like, well, I'll take that. Fucking hell, fucking one of your better games.
Thanks, Graham.
Yeah, fucking cheers, Graham. You got what you paid for, mate. And he'd go for everyone like that. And he'd be in there like hours. And then he had a goalie coach called Lionel Perez. You ever come across him?
Ex-Sunderland keeper.
Oh, what a belter. I mean, talk about you never get. Yeah.
Didn't know he was down there.
We'd broke his leg, so I was going in to replace him. He had his leg in a cage, and he'd come with his crutches. And he'd go, fucking you need to do fucking better. And I'd be like, fucking you talking to? You know, I might have hit him if he had him in a cage. But because he had a cage, I probably thought, probably a bit unfair, this one. But he was,
I can win it.
Yeah. Don't think the lads are jumping too quickly on this one. But, I mean, how about this? We played a game, lost, obviously, and then on the Monday, he's got us all mopping the tunnel. We come out and the lads sweeping the terraces, and he said, well, you're going to be here till 5 o'clock, you lot, 7 till 5 today. I was like, well, fucking hell, what's all that about? He said, you're mopping through the dressing rooms, through all the hallway. That's 32. So you can imagine what I was like, fucking hell, I must be the most expensive mop man in the country, like, just to wind him up. And he kept us there till 5 o'clock, and he was like relentless like that.
Yeah, it was mad.
You get a text. You ever get a text on a Sunday?
He never used
He's
to
renowned for that, though, at Preston.
You get a text on a Sunday. Fucking, I don't know, retirement looms for you. Like, blah blah blah. You're nowhere near the keeper. GW, and I'll be like, normally on a Sunday, you know, it's like on a Sunday, I'll be over the club with mates. Who the fuck are you? And then on this one particular day, I'd obviously fucking thought I'd had probably a beer, and I thought, fuck, I ain't having that. I'm a fucking grown man. So I've rung him up. So who the fuck are you talking? Like, answer phone. Who the fuck are you talking to? If you want to speak to me, speak to man, you prick, and like let him have a bit, and then put the phone down. Thought nothing of it. Getting on the Monday, thought nothing. Didn't even think about the phone call. Like, obviously, see in the office. Yeah, what's up? Presses play. Do you think this is right? He speaks to your manager. Fuck me, I listened to it. I thought, fuck me, he's a bit out of order. That geezer on there. I think myself, that fucking sounds like me. I think myself, Jesus Christ, I've let him have it a little bit here. And then that was it, really. I had a clause, if I played 25 games, I've got another year. And on the 24th game, he said, I'm not playing you no more, unless you waiver the clause. I said, well, why would I do that? I said, like, I
I bet you were half happy though, weren't you?
Yeah, I was buzzing. But then, do you know what he'd done to me, right? He'd done something that no one's ever done to me, right? And actually, it pissed me right off. He said to me, you can... I mean, first of all, he left his door ajar, so the bloke secretary was sitting there. And then he said to me, he said, you wouldn't even fucking hit me if I come at you, would you? And I was thinking to myself, I don't know. I probably haven't done. and then he grabbed me, and he's only at my missus in the morning. He said, because you know I was going to see him, whatever you do, don't hit him, because we'll have no money, we'll be sacked. I said, no, I won't do that. And he grabbed me around the throat. He said, look, you ain't got no balls to hit me. And he was trying to get me, goad me to flare up, so the other guy could say, oh, you were just sacked, you know, you're out. And I didn't, weirdly enough. I was like, yeah, you got to pay me up, mate. And he said, well, look, go home for 30 days. I'll see you back here the 1st of February, 9 o'clock, don't be late. So, oh, happy days. Went home. After like 4 days at home, I was like, fucking hell, this is hard work, this. Turned up on the 1st of February, 30 days later. He went, yeah, you're on time. We go home now another 30 days. I was like, fucking hell. It's a fucking pain.
Who pulling around that most you or your missus?
Yeah,
fucking get out now.
She was like, fucking hell. How many times can I walk that dog? It was like a nightmare. And like,
Piss in the Jimmy Gloss patio.
Yeah, exactly. Pointed the patio up nicely. And then I left, you know, and then that season, and it's weirdly right. Weird how I'm a great believer in karma and certain things that go my way anyway. And years later, so he knocked me for some money. I think he owed me about $9,000, and I couldn't be bothered. You just get to the point, it broken me that much.
Yeah.
No, I can't be bothered. And years later, I was at West Ham, and I had a missed call. I rang it back. He said, Woody, it's Graham Westley, how are you doing? I said, Graham, how are you? Like, so here we go. He went, you got any good young strikers at West Ham that might want to come here on loan? I went, yeah. I said, and I screw him right in lovely. I went, yeah, we've got fucking so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so. You know, I didn't have a word. I went, absolutely no chance. You knocked me for $9,000, now fuck off. I was buzzing. It was like, fucking, yeah, get in there.
That must have felt better than
it
eating
was
him.
lovely, mate. Pathetic, but it was lovely. I drew him right in, like, yeah. I said, we got so-and-so here. We got, I might be Junior Stanlass. I said, he'll definitely come. He loves me. He'll go. Drew him right in. He went, I'd have a word. I went, absolutely fucking no chance. You done me a $9,000. And I went home to my missus, happy and proud. Like, I got him back eventually. And then obviously we went to Newcastle, drew him in a cup, and he fucking beat us. So I was like, Graham, how are you?
I tell you what, you used to have your meetings for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And you should come out of a meeting and you'd obviously need a piss because you were in that long. And you come out thinking, fucking hell, he's right what he's saying. Right, and then halfway through your piss you think, fuck me, he nearly got me there. He's full of fucking shit. He nearly got me though. Yeah. He nearly got me.
Unbelievable fella.
He's willing to take a broken nose to get you out the club, to not pay you some money.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Mad, innit?
Unbelievable. It was,
He's a wealthy guy, like, isn't he? He's
yeah, I heard he'd had a bit of a tough time though, which I don't know if that's true or not, but you know, there's a bit of me that thinks, unlucky. You know, I know I'm still bitter a little bit, but and the funny, Dino Manuera was like his enforcer.
his assistant.
Yeah, I didn't like Dino. I've got to be honest, I didn't like him, and the only reason I didn't like him is because he used to go through keepers all the time, and it used to piss me off seeing him like, you know, 40. 80-20 ball in his favour, and he'd go right through a keeper. I was thinking, I'm not having that. And Graham used to love that. And that was always in my head. And then one year on holiday in Dubai, I was sitting on the beach, and he come up the beach fucking ripped.
Oh, he's ripped, isn't he?
And I said to my boy, I said, fucking, I don't like this kid who's playing with him. I ain't fucking speaking to him. And literally, he got within 5 yards of him. All right, Woody, how are you? I went, hello, do you know how you go? And my boy went, fucking told him there, didn't you? I fucking hell, let myself down there, didn't I? And you know what I mean? Then you just suddenly think, fucking hell, yeah, what am I doing? I speak to him like, you know, he looked at the bollocks, all oiled up. Like, obviously, I put my T-shirt on. No, I'm not. Jim's been shut lately, mate.
I once had him in Newport. I went to Jim in Newport, and I just kept hiding behind equipment going. And he was like that. Oh, but fucking hell. Yeah. I mean, will Mark Roberts here then?
Mark Roberts.
Ginger centre half, Mark Roberts.
No, I had. We did have a ginger centre half. His name was fucking hell, useless. I see him on a train. He's now at Sutton United. Jason Goodliff.
Right.
Yeah, he was a good old centre half.
But I think if you know the thing with it, if you know what you're going into, you can't really complain. It's when it comes as your manager, you're like, oh,
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Jesus.
And I think I didn't have any idea what I was really going in for. I didn't, and then like I was like, Jesus Christ, what is this? You know, it's a nightmare.
But he just he's half like a cult, isn't it?
Yeah,
He
it's
brainwashes
like
you.
yeah. I mean, he never ran in pre-season. I'd have this fucking thing on my back, like I'm talking like a pole. I don't know what it was, a log with weights on it. I couldn't even lift it. And I'm running around the field. I feel myself, yeah, this is good for me. Yeah, I get fit. I feel myself, fucking what am I doing? Like, it was mental. You know, and it was just so many things. And in the end, I was like, oh, I'm done.
So these meetings that you come out and you think is it like motivational?
Because he's that good a speaker.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Is he?
He's that good a speaker that you believe it.
No eye in team and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And it was fresh on the circuit, all that.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? And I was like, oh, this geezer's well ahead of his time. Fucking hell, he wasn't. Oh, Jesus Christ. Fucking nightmare.
He must have been quite young then, was he? 'Cause he can't
Yeah,
be
he
that
was.
old now.
Yeah, and he was quite like, fitness guy, like, and he was always running and doing this. He tried to mug me off one day. He did, and he actually did like try to mug me off in front of the lads. He said, "Oh, I've got a bad back. You couldn't do my laces up, could you?" I said, "You what?" He said, "You couldn't do my laces. I can't do my laces up." And I was like, "There we go, a little test here, older pro." I said, yeah, put him up here, big fella. I'll do him up like that. I've done his lace up, fucking tight and tight. There you go, off you go. Oh, yeah, fucking get him undone. Like blood stopping in his foot. He was like, you know, that sort of bloke, you know, always trying to make sure everyone I'm the boss. And I was like, weren't for me at all. I didn't enjoy my time there. And funny enough, I done an interview for the Stevenage guy the other week, and I went into work about a week later, and Boldy said, "I've just got your interview up from Stevenage." He said, "Mate, it's the most honest interview ever." He said, "You hated the club, you hated the people, you hated everything." I said, "Did I say that?" And when I looked it back, God, blimey, I battered the club.
Like listening back to that phone call.
Battered everyone. I was like, oh my God, Jesus Christ. I didn't enjoy the time there.
He'd be doing weight sessions, and he'd be doing press ups, and they'd be stamping on your back.
Mental.
Like, you know, so you would either do your press up or punching, not me personally, but the younger lads, because I was 35, 36.
Just a little dig.
He'd be fucking digging your ribs as you're doing your press ups and stuff like that.
Pre-season, so he takes you to this gym, boxing. I think, oh, fucking, here we go.
It's right up my street, this.
I feel so I know exactly what's coming here, right? I can tell you what's coming here. Everyone partner up. I was like, partner up with someone your own size. I think, oh, fucking hell. Looking around, like everyone's partnered up. Two little fellas. Everyone, all their mate, me. I'll go with you. No, Woody, you're with the pro boxer. What? So the pro boxer in the gym, right? I swear to God, right? I feel so fucking hell. Here we go. So the rule is you go in with the boxer or your partner. So you get in the ring, and you've got the head guard on, and he says, right, the rules are all weak hand punching. If you go with a big haymaker, then you're going to get one back. So, okay. Well, fuck me, I ain't got the best fuse in the world, have I? So I'm dancing around, I can hear all the lads get it, go on, Woody. I feel like, go on, Woody, and I feel like fucking lads are on me, yeah, like that. Fucking, I love this. So I'm dancing around, and then he snapped a little punch at me, fucking hell, that hurt my neck. I mean, so fucking hell, that hurt. So anyway, I'm trying to throw my left, which is pathetic. Nothing, not even getting near him. And he's almost like laughing at me, and I could hear the lads going, "Go on, buddy!" And I'm thinking, yeah, fucking hell, yeah. Jabbed me again. I thought I broke my neck. Like, my neck come down. Fucking hell, spells. So I've obviously lost my head and thrown one like with the other hand. Missed miles. And all I remember him saying was, "Remember the rules. You're gonna get one back." I think, "Oh no." And like, I'm not joking you, he threw a jab at me. Fucking hell, I saw like, and all the lads is, oh, hang in there, Woody. Hang in there, Woody. And I know Wesley, he ain't called in time, mate, I'll tell you. And I'm feeling fucking, I just want to go home. Did
you go down?
No, I didn't. I just clung on to, I know, it was in the road. I could just hear the lads, like, half the lads giving it like, well, the dressing was quite split. There was a few pros and there was a few non-league boys. The non-league boys weren't having the pros. They all thought, they're not good enough. And we all thought they weren't good enough. I could see all the non-league boys getting fucking brilliant, that flash fucker. And I could see all the pros getting, "Come on, Woody, fucking hell, come on." And I'm like, fucking, I just called it a day. And mate, it hit me so hard, I thought I broke my neck. Fucking brilliant it was.
Well, I don't know if you were there, but he had Josh Walker on loan from Watford. And Wesley said, "Look, you're soft as shit, you. Come from Watford in Championship, maybe. Soft as shit. You need to go and see this boxer, the gym guy." So he fucking proper told him, right? He's walk up next day, he looks like fucking Elephant Man, right? Josh Walker. So he's obviously sent a photo through to Watford, whoever's, said, "Look, he sent me for boxing. Look at the fucking state of me. Just pulled him straight back. Fucking get out of there." But Wesley thought that one all right.
Yeah,
Toughen him up.
Yeah, toughen him up. Fucking hell, broke my neck. Fucking hell. It's like Christopher Reeve in goal. Fucking hell. Honestly, I never forget it. Lads were buzzing to see me get beat up.
So you were glad to get shut then?
Yeah, so I left there, yeah, and then I don't know what happened after that. I went and played.
Rushden Diamonds?
Yeah, funny enough, I had a little spell selling photocopies of Keith and that over there. I did, yeah, I had a little spell. I got talked into selling photocopies, didn't sell one. We used to go out for lunch every day. I said, "Oh, let's book some meetings in and all that." Anyway, I got a phone call out of the blue from Barry Hunter, Rushden Diamonds, said, "Look, would you come to Rushden Diamonds?" And I didn't even wait for money. I went, "Yes." And he went, "Well, I ain't even spoke money. I've got no money." But I said, "I'll come." So I went to Rushden Diamonds as player coach. Like I said, number 2 goalie and coach.
Is that good for you, like where you lived? And
no, I lived in London. So I drove up to Northampton every day and back, and it was mental. I think I got 600 quid a week, and I was doing 400 quid a week in petrol. But it was the fact that I weren't, I was back in football, and so I'd go up there every day. And what happened is it was really bizarre. We had a keeper on loan from Reading, a guy called Jamie Young, who's now really done well out in Australian leagues. A really nice kid, England under 21, and he was having a disaster. Like, there was goals flying in, and he was like, and I say to him, "Like, Jamie,
you're having an exit to you."
Yeah, exactly that. And I didn't have the art to sort of like bury him and say, "Fucking hell, mate." But I thought he's got to realise he's having, and he'd say, "No, that's not a mistake." He said, "That's just got that wrong." "Oh, that's a mistake, mate." Anyway, it kept going on and on. And then we played a game, and I used to travel in with Barry. I used to meet him at, I don't know, on the M40 somewhere. We used to drive in together. And on this one Saturday, we played, he's thrown another one in, and Barry's fucking gone off his trolley. And he said, "Fucking you're fucking playing next week." "No, I ain't trained for a season. I'm not sitting there, I'm just enjoying my best life. I'm not relaxing and no pressure." And I went, yeah, and in the midst of the rant. Didn't think nothing of it. We get to the Thursday that week of travelling in together every day. He said, "You have been training, didn't you?" I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You're playing Saturday." I said, "Mate, I ain't fucking done a thing. I've not done." He said, "Well, you're playing Saturday. I'm sticking to my word. You're playing." I think, oh my God, like this is going to be a disaster. So we played Wickham away. I never forget Wickham away, and they hadn't not scored at home all season. So I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be a nightmare. I kid you not, right? I took an age over every goal kick, everything I had to do in the game. It took forever. Roger Johnson, the centre half, he was like, "For fuck's sake, old man, liven up, will ya?" And we come off there with a 0-0. I kid you not, right? So I got the first clean sheet of the season, 0-0, right? I played the next 4, kept 4 clean sheets. I'm not being funny. The ball must have been on the pitch about 16 minutes a match because I took forever. And then the last game was at Barnet, where I come for a ball, and then I thought someone had smashed me on the ankle, and I'd snapped my Achilles, and that was a bit of probably the ending, really.
Yeah.
Had you done your
Did you go in as
badges?
assistant manager?
Yeah, so what happened is, it was a bit bizarre, really. I mean, it was about 4 or 5 games for the end. They called me and Barry in. I hadn't played since I snapped my Achilles, so I was trying to get players in for him, ringing up clubs I've known, Palace and that, can you loan as a player? And sort of dealing with that for Barry with the way he was doing training, because we had no staff. And then what happened is, about 4 weeks for the end of the season, they called us in, me and Barry, in for a meeting. They went to see him first. He come down, he said, look, they've sacked me. I said, what? He said, yeah, they've sacked me. He said, they want you to take over. I said, what? So I went in, and they said, look, we've sacked Barry, we want you to take over. I said, I can't do that. I said, what do you mean? I said, this man brought me in, there's no way I'm taking over. I said, like, absolutely no chance. I said, like, with all due respect, it just don't sit right with me. And then they said, well, look, you'll run the budget sheets. Any man has thinking, oh dear, might be.
I can work with you, I'm sorry.
It might be a different.
Sorry, buddy.
I was looking at the budget sheets, thinking to myself, company cars gone, petrol account gone. And I said to him, I said, look, I'm not going to take it. I said, I think you've got the right man for the job. I said, I think you should get him back. The players love him. So they said, well, look, can you go back and get him? So I went back to the office. I said, they want to see you, mate. He said, why? I said, they want to reinstate you. He said, you're kidding. So they reinstated him and kept us. They said, look, we keep to the end of the season. I mean, what a bizarre situation.
Yeah.
We got relegated last game of the season. Boston away.
You'd have kept him up.
Kept
Did you have
them
your
up,
badges? Did you do your badges at all?
Yeah, I've done all my coaching badges.
When you were playing?
I've done them, yeah, I did. Yeah, I've done my goalkeeping and B and that, yeah. I actually, I've got to say, my wife filled out the form, sent them off and all that. So she was really on to me about, you need to get your coaching badges. She must have seen, like, what I wasn't seeing. I was useless. And you might have half a chance of a
Not
coach,
so the photocopier.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Keep
So
it in the game.
I've done my badges while I was playing. And then, and listen, I always say this, am I the best coach in the world? No, I was lucky enough to get a friend, like most people in football, that took me with him to be his goalie coach. And then I went from there to West Ham.
So how long had you finished at Rushden that you...
That season at Rushden, when we got sacked, Alan Pardew was at West Ham, and he said, look, I want you to come as my goalie coach for the academy. So...
Had you got actual aspirations of going into coaching, or do you just think, well, I might as well?
Yeah, I don't know really. I hadn't really thought about it, and I couldn't really see where an opportunity was going to open up. So I hadn't really thought about it, but then I'd done that season where I've been player coach and kind of enjoyed it a little bit. And then Pards, offered me the job at West Ham in the academy, which was a really good learning curve for me, to work with someone like Tony Carr, who's a legend, bringing those players for over years. So that gave me good grounding to work with someone professional and proper like Tony. And then have Ludo as first team coach, Ludo McCloskey, and he helped me as well. So between the two of them, they kind of shaped what it's like to be at a big club for me.
McCloskey.
Yeah, what a guy. So I had a season there with them, and then Pards got the sack, went to Charlton. Curbs come from Charlton to West Ham. And then I got the call from Tony to say, look, Pards wants you to go to Charlton as first team coach. So it was a no-brainer.
So not even a goalie coach, as first team coach?
No, sorry, as first team goalie coach.
Right,
yeah.
sorry,
my apologies.
Oh, so you went from... So you weren't first team goal coaching at all at West Ham?
No, at West Ham I was academy.
Right.
Academy goalie coach, which was good for me to learn the how it works and actually get a feel for the young kids. You forget that as you get older, all the emotions. So that was good for me. And the kids in my team at the time were Tompkins and Collison and all those boys, Junior Stanislas, all those boys. Now I see them as grown adults. Great kids, and all gone on to have great careers. So it's kind of nice that I've seen them as young boys now go on to play and have terrific careers, which is great about coaching.
Was it weird going in as coach when you're coaching the first team keepers? Did it at Charlton?
Yeah. So what happened is Pards had got the job at Charlton. I think Mike Kelly was there at the time. Pards obviously, like most managers, wanted to bring his own man in and offered me the job. It was kind of funny, right? Because I met Pards on the Monday for the job at Charlton. So we met at the service station at Clackett Lane. So he said, look, mate, he said, you're a big character, right? So just go in slowly, feel your way in there.
Ease yourself in.
Yeah, ease your way in. He said, and I want you to be yourself, because that's what you bring to the party. Good team spirit and banter and atmosphere and all that. He said, but just be mindful. These boys are a bit fragile, been relegated. Yeah, no problem. He said, by the way, we're going to Marbella on Wednesday. I said, okay, no problem. He said, what touch? Marbella, pre-season. Well, Thursday night, I'm on the stage dancing like this, like an idiot. And he's looking at me going, nice to see you've bedded yourself in quietly like that. So it wasn't so much a quiet introduction, but it was good, Charlton. I liked it there, good club, good people, and then obviously we had your man Weaves as well.
Yeah. So was Weaves first team keeper at Charlton when you went in then?
Yeah, so when I signed there, Pardew said, look, I've got a keeper in. He said, I don't know if you know much about him. He said, Nicky Weaver. I said, I've known plenty about Nicky Weaver. I said, yeah, great signing. He said, yeah, I want you to work with him. Little did I know, Weaves had a knee that was hanging off still, pretty much. So, like, every training session, we had to kind of adapt around. I can't do that with my knee. And he did have a bad knee, but he was brilliant, Weaves. And brilliant character, as you well know. You know, he's fantastic. And he brought into the club, brought into everyone, and we all loved him, you know, and he done brilliant. And I don't know if I've told you so, there's a particular game, I wish we'd have known this before Weaves come on when he spoke to you. So I'm warming up Weaves at Charlton, and this is as true as I tell a story, and only Weaves is about to say this is true. So I'm warming him up in the goal, shooting into him. Boom, I've unleashed one. It's gone, boom, like an exocet. Missed the goal, got into the crowd. Bang! It smashed this lady. She must be about 60. Reading the programme, smashed her in the face. Glasses off her chair. She's out. Like,
we shouldn't laugh, should we?
Honestly, she's out. Right. The paramedics have come in. There's an ambulance. I'm like, fucking hell. He's like, fucking hell, you've killed her. So anyway, the game's going on. They're trying to get this lady out to an ambulance. She's like in a bad way. So we get in the dressing room and I can hear fucking Weaves. Fucking hell, Gaffer. Fucking Woody's killed a lady in the stand. He's fucking killed her. This is before a match, right? He got tears. Pards is like, fucking hell, what you done? I said, mate, I just went off into the crowd. I didn't know. Send someone out, get her details. You're going to fucking send her £100 worth of flowers on Monday. I was like, fucking hell, that's my fault. She wasn't looking. So anyway, right, she's carted off. The game goes ahead. Monday comes. Fucking Pards is like, gives your credit card. What do you mean? I've got that lady's address. You're going to send her £100 worth of flowers. Fucking hell. Fucking hell, what's about work? I'm just send her flowers. It's her fault. Send her £100 worth of flowers. This is a true story, right? Weasel will back this up. The following week, we play away, right? So we play away. The following week after that, 2 weeks later, we're back at Charlton. So they put the warm-up goal to the side now. So I'm not in the main goal, I'm to the side. So I'm fucking warming up, hitting balls, bang, bang, bang. Fucking one's gone astray. A different part of behind the goal, it's fucking hit the same lady in the face. I kid you not. The same lady, I kid you not, knocked her clean off her seat, right? Weaves, he's got tears. He's the fucking same lady. I went, fucking hell, mate. Paramedics, everything, right? I swear, she's carted off again. I'm thinking, oh no, this is a fucking nightmare. I swear. I get in the dressing room after, Pards went, you've hit the same lady. And I went, yeah. I said, we've got her address. So I finished up. I said, I got to fucking send her flowers. He went, nah, she should be fucking watching this time. Anyway, Weaves adds to the story now, though. He says, which always makes me laugh. He says, as she was going off on the stretcher, she turned around to the paramedics and said, can you make sure he gets me roses this week? It was the same lady. Honestly, you couldn't fucking write it. How can you hit the same lady 2 weeks on a spin? Yeah, that was my experience of letting one go into the crowd.
Who else were you training at? Randolph?
Yeah, I had Randolph and Darren Randolph and Robbie Elliott. Both really good goalkeepers, really good guys. Darren went away on pre-season. He'd played it into that season, and everyone had high hopes. He'd done really well apparently at the end of the season. I'd arrived. Said he played at Liverpool, done brilliant. I looked at the video like you do, and I mean, this kid's unbelievable. Says he'd obviously done it classic. What we said earlier, young kid thought he'd made it. He'd gone away that pre-season to Magaluf, his mates or wherever. Come back about 2 stone overweight. He looked a mess. So Pards like, I ain't having him, like, you know. And I was like, nah, he's all right. And then we had Robbie Elliott, who was like a classic, like, university dropout. Like, he looked like a bag of spanners, Rob, most of the time. You could put Rob in an Armani suit and he'd look like a bag of spanners in it. So we had those two coming through. Randolph, we ended up letting go, and he went to Motherwell and kick-started his career, and a top lad. Yeah. And I couldn't be happier for someone to have a career like he's had. And then obviously we signed Robbie Elliott. We got Robbie Elliott, then got in the team halfway through the following season, through Weaves getting injured, and Robbie Elliott stayed in the team, done really well. And then we signed him at Newcastle.
Yeah.
As we signed him at Newcastle as just third choice keeper. As like, I think we paid 200 grand for him. And he went on to have, I think, 9 years at Newcastle and done really well there. Really maxed out what I thought he could do.
Yeah.
So that
Do you
was
think
good.
it's a bit of a, obviously, goalkeeper's a strange position because there's only one who can play. So do you think there's people who get to 35 who think, could have had a fucking incredible career, but I've done really well anyway? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Such as the guy at Newcastle, Harper. Is it Steve
Steve
Harper?
yeah.
He played, what, 100 games?
Yeah, Harps.
Multi-millionaire, probably.
Yeah, Harps. I think Harps' career is like, I think it's like right about 190 games. I think he's played his whole career, 22 years at Newcastle, and I think quite a few of those were in the Championship. And I'm sure that there was moments where Harps will tell you that he probably should have forced in the team in front of Shea and probably deserved to, but maybe he didn't. That wasn't the sort of character to be like that. And there was probably times. Well, I know that we tried to sign him at West Ham at one point, and he didn't come. So I'm sure that there'll be moments where Harps maybe looks back in one breath and thinks probably could have kicked on and played 400 or 500 games. But then it comes back to. And I'm not saying this is right. What I'm going to say, it comes back to that. Are you better off playing 500 games like I did, or are you better off having 10 million quid in the bank?
Yeah.
It's the decision.
What decision you make? I went for the 500 games. I can tell you live and there, that's the wrong decision. You're completely right though. You have to be at some point put out there to play.
Ben Thatcher though. At Charlton.
Fatch was there, yeah, character
Heard a
Fatch.
few tales.
Yeah, anyone Fatch?
Not yet, no.
Wow.
We've heard a few stories though.
Fatch is mental, mate. Yeah, proper mental. Him and Weaves together were like they're both at Man City together. So they
Thick
were
as thieves.
thick as thieves. Yeah, thick as thieves.
Yeah.
So Fatch was a good character to have around the place.
He was a nasty fucker, wasn't he?
Well, it's funny
On the field.
Yeah, he left a few bad tackles on people. I mean, he done that guy with the elbow.
Mendes won it. Was it Mendes?
Yeah, Mendes. Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, he run right into him with the elbow. I actually think, again, I'm speaking as someone that knows Fatch as someone that's played. I actually think that whole experience ended up affecting him as a player a little bit. Really, he might say it didn't, but for me, I think he was always worried that if he made one bad tackle, it was always, he's at it again, Thatcher.
Yeah.
And as much as I think he had the persona that he wasn't bothered, I think deep down he's a good lad, Thatch. And I think
See a change.
Yeah, I think he'd have been more conscientious of, when you do a challenge like that and it carries around with you, you don't want it to keep
You don't
following you around.
build up as a reputation.
Yeah, and every tackle you make then is a bad tackle.
It were a bad one like though.
Yeah,
It were fucking GBH.
Yeah, I mean, it was horrendous. The guy's jaw was like rose head, wasn't it? I mean, Jesus Christ.
You never parked in Jerome Thomas's parking spot.
No,
did you?
Weaves loved that one, didn't he? Yeah, but Jerome was a character, mate. He had that high-pitched voice. Weaves could take that voice off, and he would say, "Is the baby Bentley going to go, big man?" And he had that voice. We was on a plane once, landing in Leeds Bradford Airport, I think it is, up there. And it was windy, like proper, one of the worst plane journeys. You have a little private plane and you're coming in. And I never forget, all I can remember is, fucking hell, someone ring my mum, tell her all my money's under the sofa, man. We're going to die. I can see him screaming it in the back, and this plane's coming down, we're side to side like an inch row. I'm not going to be able to spend my money. That was fucking brilliant, Well, that was Jerome. He was a real character. He was a talented boy as well, and he was a good player. We had some good players. We had some good players at Newcastle as well. Some really,
As soon as Pards left and was going to Charlton, did you know you're joining him?
What, to Newcastle?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's funny because he'd been to Southampton, hadn't he?
Yeah.
And I didn't go to Southampton. I can't remember the reason why. I think because the chairman was a bit of a lunatic down there, and I don't think they even foresee it was going to be that long a job down there with that chairman. And I was with Parky, Phil Parkinson at Charlton, and I was quite happy there.
How did you find Phil?
I didn't mind Phil.
Did he have his clipboard?
Yeah, I had a clipboard, organised Phil. Yeah, I mean, I didn't play for Phil, but very organised. If there's one thing I say about Parky, he will do the hours to go and watch games and players, and and that. But we was a sinking ship there at Charlton at that time. Really, everything was like they're getting cut back. The team was getting cut back, and he had a raw deal there. In fairness, there, and then Pards. I'd heard Pards had been linked to a job, but I wasn't sure which. It was all hush hush, and then he rang me. He said, "I'll meet me at the road. I've got a job, but I can't tell you where it is." So I met him, and he said, "Look, I've got a job, but you're gonna have to move away. Do you fancy it?" And I was thinking to myself, "Fucking hell, yeah, happy days, Spain, something like that, Italy." You know what I mean? Running right away with myself like I do. And he said, "Well, look, I can't tell you what it is, you know, because I want to build your hopes up." And I'm thinking, "Fucking hell, whatever beautiful, that what a touch." He said, "But you know, if you want to come, I want you to come with me. You know, it's my goalie coach." I said, "Brilliant." And then literally, fucking it broke about 4 days later. Newcastle, and I was like, Newcastle? I didn't even know. I swear, I'd never been to Newcastle in my life. This sounds mental, right? I'd never been to Newcastle. I couldn't even tell you where it was on the map, right? I'm not even kidding. I was like, Newcastle, never look at that. Fucking hell, it's miles away. But it's cold up there. Typical, like, southerner. And I didn't hear from him. And I thought, Jesus Christ, he's thrown me a red herring here. I ain't going to get the job. I'm not, you know, struggling. And then I went into Charlton and Parky said, "Look, Pards wants to take Newcastle." And he rang me up, and I went up to Newcastle, and literally stepped off the plane. It'd possibly been the worst winter for years. It was like 4 foot of snow. It was like landing in Siberia. I kid you, like I got off like a typical London southerner, got off there, walked out, and fucking hell, it's freezing.
Were you like Rocky getting off in Russia?
Yeah, it was like that. And like literally, I didn't train the goalkeepers on the grass for 6 weeks. It was that much snow, it never went. So I was always like in the gym and that, and it was like snow for ages. But it was a brilliant experience. You know, listen, Newcastle was brilliant. I'll define anyone to say anything bad about the club and the place and the area. I mean, it's probably the nicest place I've lived.
Yeah.
So did your missus come up or not?
No. So I moved up there, and then there was a few clubs. Sort of trying to sign Freddie. I think Chelsea were sniffing around, Arsenal and Man City were all sniffing around.
Where was he at this point?
He was at Palace. So he was only 13, 14 at Palace. And I went and watched Freddie play Chelsea for Palace, and I turned up there, and then the academy goalie coach was standing over there, and I was like, "Who are you doing?" He went, "Been sent by the hierarchy to come and look at Freddie, see if he's good as everyone's saying."
Newcastle.
So Mike and the chief exec Darren and Bias and that had sent the academy's goalie coach.
So you hadn't had any word
No one
in
had said.
this?
No, I know people might find this is mental, but no one had said nothing to me.
Right.
So they obviously got whispered. So he said, "Look, I'm going to be honest, I've come to watch Freddie." And in this particular game, he played really well. So then I go back to Newcastle that week, and then I get a call from Derek saying, "We want to sign Freddie. Mike wants to sign Freddie." And I said, "Well, look, it's not quite as easy as that. He's his own commodity. You know, he's not coming because I'm here." And he said, "Well, look, Mike's going to make it impossible for you not to sign." He said, "He wants you're his goalie coach. He wants the best young talent at the club. That's so." You know, he's not saying you're going to sign just because you're his dad, but he'll make Freddie an offer and get him up. And they done it all properly. They brought him up, my wife up, my daughter up, showed him around. I was really kept out the way of it, bizarrely. So I said, "Okay, let's leave." And he looked around, and Fred loved it. You know, he loved the fact they said, "You won't have to go to school. You'll be schooled on site." He was like buzzing with that. So that was the scene. And then they signed him, yeah. And then they signed him, and it was a weird one at first because I was like, "Oh, how's this going to work?" You know, for you and for me. And none of the lads knew he was my son. Like, you know, none of the boys, like when they come up.
Prefer it like that.
Well, at the beginning, when he come out to train with the first team, like 15, he'd sometimes come out to train with the first team. Colacini and Kabaya, they didn't know. They just thought he was like Freddie. They didn't know. They didn't put two and together. And one day he went. He's never called me dad on the training pitch ever. And it's one day he must have said, "Here, Dad, pass that over." And I remember Kabaya going, "It's your son." I went, "Well, yeah." He went, "I didn't know that." It was like about a year, 18 months into it, and the lads didn't know. So it was kind of nice that he built up his own respect in that.
Yeah. Because imagine from an outside perspective, I bet
everyone.
loads of people say, "Oh,
yeah, correct.
his dad sorted him out at Newcastle."
Yeah.
Exactly that. Everyone always surmises that. And listen, it doesn't work like that, football. It generally doesn't.
So did Freddie move up with you?
So,
or did Freddie move up into Diggs?
No. So then what happened is my wife and my daughter, we all moved up. The whole
Oh, right,
family
yeah.
moved up. We rented a house up there in Ponteland, and we loved it. Made loads of friends up there, and actually it was quite heartbreaking to leave.
Do you think your missus would have moved up if Freddie had not done?
No.
Or you think you'd just been up there on your own?
Yeah, I'd been having a brilliant time.
Fuck off, Freddie, you fucking killed me.
I was like that. Fucking hell, Freddie. Why couldn't you go to Man City? So yeah, no, we loved it. I mean, listen, saying it to people down south, like the North East, they look at you and go, "Yeah, of course it's brilliant," and it really is. I mean, all our friends are still up there now, and we loved it there.
Did you feel that tension straight away? You know, all the Cockney Mafia and all that was going on?
No, not originally. The first season we had a little bit of tension because obviously Pards weren't first choice, and there was some older pros in the club, and it was all a bit, feeling each other out.
Who were in the team then when you all went first?
So we'd have had Alan Smith, Joey Barton, Colaccini, Gutierrez.
Sol Campbell there then?
Sol Campbell was there, yeah. We had some big hitters there, some big players there. Andy Carroll. So we had some big characters there.
Did he get the respect straight away, Pardew?
Did he get the respect? No, I wouldn't say he did. I wouldn't say the players were like disrespecting him, but it was almost like, right, we had Chris Hughton, and we liked him, and now you're here. And I think they all thought it was like an old Powers Act, and it definitely wasn't that. As all the stories you hear, I'm like, could be further from the truth. The ridiculous rumours about
What, Pardew and Ashley being mates?
Yeah, never knew him from Adam. So all of that was complete, rubbish. But everyone surmised that, and then once that rumour mill goes on, people start buying into that. So then we knew that we had to sort of, get results. We had to get results, and we had to do it right. And listen, we spent a lot of hours at that training ground, a lot of hours in the first 6 months of trying to get results and trying to get this team right, and it was hard work. I know people laugh, but it was really tough. Characters leaving players out. I mean, Parth did that. He was a manager. I'd look after the keepers. I mean, we had a good team, really good team, and they ticked, and it was good. It was real good times. It could have gone better. John Carver was a coach. Steve Stone.
Fans were on board.
Fans were on board. Yeah, the fans were always on board. If the team was, this is a real cliche thing to say for the Geordies. If they saw a team playing for that shirt, which is really cliche, they loved it, and we had a team that would do that. I mean, Chet Chiotti, God rest his soul. What a player. I mean, this guy would run through a brick wall for you, and he would be sensational. So you had him. He represented what those fans wanted to see. They had, you had Demba Ba up top with Papacise scoring goals. You had, Kabay spraying the ball around. It was some good players. Colaccini was a good player.
Did he always have the moves, Pardew? You must have got the phone out after the game when
yeah, the old dancing, yeah.
That FA Cup one, man.
Yeah, the FA Cup one. That was a moment.
You must have had a laugh about
You
that.
just sat in the thing like that.
Yeah, I'm not getting off this bench.
No,
I'm not helping him out again.
I was sitting there thinking, what do you think he's doing? I thought we must have won. The game must be over. And then I saw their bench going mental, and I thought, we're in the game now. And that was just one of those moments, wasn't it? I mean, the FA Cup does strange things to people.
Going on the Mike Ashley's got to be one of the most hated owners ever. How was he to deal with? Did you have much to do with him?
Yeah, Mike was good. Yeah, Mike was really good.
That's going to be a big shock for a lot
I
of
can
people.
imagine Twitter and all that be going mental now, saying, yeah, he would say that you're a Connie. Mike was great. I get some of the things he'd done, and they rubbed up the people the wrong way. I completely get that. And there was moments I thought, why has that happened? I didn't, but it wasn't my position to ask that. It's his club. But for us, or for me personally, and my family, I mean, fantastic. He always, I mean, he'd land his helicopter at training. I'd be training the keepers, and I'd hear this in the distance. I think, what's that? And then this helicopter would swoop in, me balls would be flying everywhere. I swear, the balls would be flying everywhere. And he'd get out, and he'd be like, "How are you, fella?" Like, yeah, all right. What do you call him? Chairman, owner, what? And I say, all right, Mike. And he'd be, yeah, all right. And then just one of you, and you think, this geezer owns the club. He's like brilliant. And he'd come in and he'd have lunch with him, and he'd say hello to everybody. And
So did the players like him?
Well, it's funny because you had a group of players when we arrived that wouldn't agree a bonus schedule with Mike, and they, in the end, said we're not doing we don't want a bonus. So there was a problem between players and Mike on a bonus schedule. I didn't know the ins and outs, but they just didn't agree it. I don't know whether the figures were miles apart. I couldn't tell you. But so there was obviously that initial problem with him and them. And I think they obviously liked Chris Hewton, and why wouldn't you? He'd done a great job. So there was obviously something going on there. But to us, Mike was great. You know, we had good players at the time. We had support. It's like everything. It was going well. But the fans are always had this thing with Mike, and I get it. I do. I'm not just saying that. I do get some of their grievance with it. And then on the other side, I think, well, look, how much money can you keep putting into a football club? And he's publicly said he doesn't want to be there now. He wants to sell it. He's trying to sell it for the good of them. I don't know what more he can do. I get it. It's a tough situation. I really do. And I'm not sitting on the fence.
Was he a Newcastle fan?
No, he's a Chelsea fan, I think.
So why would you buy a football club? Because you can't make money from one, can you?
No,
really.
I
so why it's a strange one? Obviously, sports director, he might buy Debenhams now, right? Fair enough. He can make money off that. So why do you think he got involved in it?
I generally don't know. I think again, this is only what I'm led to believe over the course of time, that he ideally would have wanted to buy Chelsea because that was his club. And again, I might be a little bit off pace there, but Newcastle come up and it looks like it does. It
Big
looks
club.
like a big club and one city. And I would have hazarded a guess. Mike had it in his head maybe to, the terms flip the business. Do well for a couple of years and sell it and get out. And I think there was a lot of underlining. Would it be debt or underlying problems in the club that then just snowballed and I don't think it was helped maybe by certain people employed at the time and all of that.
So you think you sat here today? Do you think fucking hell, I wish I'd never bothered with that?
That's a really good question because I'm sure that he's had some great times with it.
It looks like he's had a good time doing it.
But
Yeah,
do you think
he has. Yeah, no, he has.
Has his other businesses prospered because it's Mike Astley who everybody knows, as opposed to just being a random businusman who you walk past in the street and not recognise who he is?
Yeah, but I don't never believe
profile.
that he'd done it for that reason. I generally don't. Like you come across some chairman and owners that their goal is to be the star, but they can't be the football star.
Yeah.
They want to be the owner of the club. I can't for 1 minute think that Mike did it for that reason. Not one bit of me for that. I mean, he's a very shrewd businessman, and a very shrewd businessman. And I think as it's gone on, it's just become messy and ugly, and the football clubs do go through that, don't they? They go ups and downs, but if you've got a man at the helm that the punters ain't having,
It's just constant, isn't it?
yeah, it's never gonna get better. I mean, we got into Europe at fifth, and you'd have thought they'd have been thinking, well, blimey, this is great.
Doing all right, yeah.
But then the following year we sold all of our best players, and it became a struggle. And that's where maybe as a supporter you're thinking, come on, add some more players to it. We can be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work
Backles.
like that. We don't know what the books have to be balanced, I suppose.
How on earth did Pardew sign an 8-year contract? I've never seen a manager sign an 8-year contract before.
Brilliant, wasn't
Did
it?
you sign it? Did you sign one as well?
It was the most amazing, surreal thing ever. So, I mean, there's been a lot said about the 8-year contract. And,
I'm so fucking sure there has.
yeah. And I can't believe I've signed for any other club anywhere in less than 8 years, because I wouldn't normally do it. It was kind of a bizarre moment, really. I'd gone out on a Friday night. I had a friend up from London, an ex-player for Gavin Neblin. He'd come up with his wife and I said, look, let's go out for a bite to eat. There's a nice sort of like bar restaurant, As You Like It, it's called, just on the outskirts of Jesmond. We can have a bite to eat. The girls can have a dance. We can have a catch up. And that was the plan. Like all good plans, the girls want to stay out longer. We start having a few drinks. I mean, it's a Friday night before a game. I mean, come on, I shouldn't be doing this. Let's be honest. But I'm caught up with my friend, haven't seen him. We're having a good night. I think to myself, look, I've got to be going. But maybe say, no, that's a little bit more. I think, oh God, I've got a game tomorrow. You know what I mean? Then I hear, fucking hell, Mike Ashley's in the building. I think, oh no, fucking, that's all I need.
To England.
Yeah,
Wrigley's.
I'm thinking like, this is all I need. And then I see Mike, Derek Lumbias and their crew of friends, and I don't know who they had with them. making a beeline to Woodman. I thought, I'm in a bit of trouble here now. This ain't going to look good. So before he's got to me, I go, how are you, Mike? I said, I'm just shooting off. Just had a bit of dinner with the family. I mean, it's about fucking 12:30 now. 1 o'clock. He's kicking right on. He said, no, you stay here. Shots. Let's get some shots. I think, fucking shots.
Get the shots in.
Shots.
I've got to warm my fucking goalkeepers
Yeah, I'm
up tomorrow.
thinking, fuck me, shots. So I'm going, and my missus is looking at me going, oh, we're in a bit of shit here. And I'm thinking, like, yeah, you're fucking caused it. You made us stay out. So anyway, we have some shots, and he's like, there's some more shots. I'm thinking, fucking hell, like, what? I've got to go. How can I just suddenly say I'm going now? I'm all in here. So I'm chatting away and I'm trying to be nice. And he says, yeah, you've done a great job. Yeah, I fucking love you. He said, I'm going to give you an 8-year contract tomorrow. Mate, it was as if the music had stopped in the club. It was as if everyone had become sober. I'd gone from being really drunk and my wife dancing over there to my wife coming straight to me. Did he say 8 years? I'm going to everyone in the vicinity. Did he say 8 years? Can we rewind that? So I sort of went, no, honestly, Mike, I love it here. You know, you don't have to do that. In the end, I'm thinking, mate, where's the pen? So anyway, I said, I appreciate it. He said, no, it'll be that contract will be there tomorrow with you. And I think, we've got a game tomorrow, Mike. Like, I'd like you to keep it low key. Don't tell Pards I've been out here going mental. So anyway, we go home. My missus all the way home and she's gone to like, did he say 8 years? I said, I think so. I said, but you know, he's had a drink. I literally turn up at the stadium. Like, you have to, when you get to the stadium, you sort of park at the top end corner and they take your car away and you walk up the pitch and then down the tunnel, say hello to all the nice, stewards and that, and then walk along the tunnel and into Pards' office. So I'm walking on the side of the pitch and I'm thinking, dear, I feel a bit rough. Hopefully no one spotted me, but obviously ridiculous. So I walk down the tunnel, see all this stuff. How are you? You're up. Proper like Sky there and everyone else. Hey, he said, oh yeah, don't breathe on me. Walk up the tunnel, walk into Pardew office. He's reading the Times or whatever he's reading, chatting away. So he said, all right, mate, have a good night. Now, it's the sort of question your manager, mate, sort of asked. I sort of went, yeah, interesting. Like, I think he knows and I know that he knows, but how do we go about it? He said, yeah, it sounds like it was a good night, wasn't it? I said, yeah, weird night, mate. I said, like, might come out of something. I said, but he said, no. He said, you got to go up and sign an 8-year contract after the game. He's told the chief executive to draw up your contract, 8 years. Now, I won't lie to you. I'm buzzing. I'm thinking to myself, game? What game? Someone else take the keepers.
Mike Ashley Summerhouse now in background.
So I'm thinking to myself, like, so he said to me, what are you going to do? And I'm thinking to myself, what answer does he want here? Because I know what I want to do. I want to go and buy a fucking Bic and sign it. So I said to him, well, look, what do you think? I said, I don't want to upset him. Thinking to myself, don't upset him. I don't want to upset myself. So he said, look, you can't sign that contract. He said, because, and he's right. If I sign that contract, what's John Stoney? He's the manager of the club. I've got a longer contract than the manager. It was crazy, really.
Oh, so this was just for you?
Yeah, just for me. This was at this point. So now I'm in a world of pain. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I quite have a longer contract than the manager. And John and Stoney, I've got to look, they're going to think, what a shithouse. And it is a bit shithousery, but 8 years is 8 years. So I'm now thinking,
fuck you, pal.
Yeah, so now I'm thinking, how'd you turn down 8 years with Mike? More importantly, how do I turn around to Mike and say, look, really appreciate it, but no, I'm not going to sign it. That ain't really something that's the wisest move. So we're now being Pards and saying, well, what are we going to do? This is like a fucking nightmare, mate. And I'm now thinking, yeah, it is a nightmare. As much as it's great, it's a fucking nightmare. So I said, look, I'll go up after, I'll see Lee Charlie and I'll just see Mike and I say, look, I really appreciate it, but it's not right that I sign a contract. As much as I want to sign it, I love it here, I'm quite happy, I'll give it all that spiel. He said, all right, do that, then we'll do that. So anyway, played the game, I can't remember if we won or lost. We used to go up in the ballroom every match. It was lovely ballroom. Mike used to be up there, good as gold. Win or lose.
Do you think he, in the back of his head, appreciated you being so loyal to his
staff?
Yeah,
I think if there's one thing that I bring to any football club I go to is like I am quite infectious character, and the team spirit. I've always been good on team spirit anywhere I've been, and I think he kind of maybe saw that I am good around the place. I'm not just a goalie coach, I'm not just. sort of
Fetch more.
bring the staff together, bring the players together, and when it's and you know what it's like, Parky. That's great when it's all going well. When it ain't going well, it's a hard job to do.
Yeah.
So that kind of went in my favour a little bit at the time, I think. But then I go and see Mike after, and I say, look, Mike. I can't thank you enough for the contract. I could see my missus sitting over there going, are you fucking mad? Like, see, like, you fucking mad? Like that. I'm going, no, I can't do it, you know. So I said, look, I appreciate the contract, Mike. I said, but I can't sign it. It's going to cause you a bigger problem with, like, the manager, the assistant manager, and all the other staff. I said, like, as much as it's lovely, you know, well, I'll give you all 8-year contracts. Now I'm thinking, buzzing, but I'm now thinking, this is now a bigger problem for Barnes and a bigger problem for not John or Stone, because they'd be buzzing, but a bigger problem now. So I said, well, look, I'll leave it to you. I didn't know where to go with this now. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, of course, I'm well now. Well,
We should have stopped in last night.
Yeah. So anyway, that week, Pars pulls me and says, fucking hell, he says, you cause mayhem, mate. He says, like, he's offered us all 8-year contracts. I said, where's the mayhem in that? So anyway, he said, well, I suppose like anything, if you're a manager, you don't want to just sign a contract, you want to get it right.
Yeah.
So this went on now, and it went quiet a little bit. So me, John and Stoney are non-stop thinking, any news in this 8-year contract? we can't really say anything, right? We can't really fucking ask Pars, because he's going to hit the fucking roof of us, like, because that's all we've been talking about now for about 6 weeks. Because he said to me about the 8-year contract. You know, that's all we talk about. We've got no other conversation. Anyway, I can't remember where we were. Pars said, look, just let you know, I've agreed the contracts with Mike, and you'll be getting your contracts sent to you. So we're all sort of like thinking, 2 years, what, you know, what sort of contract, Bud? Yeah, it's fucking 8 years, yeah. We've got us fucking tied up for 8 years, but anyway, he's going to send it to you and all that. Anyway, that week we get a message from the chief exec. I'm going to email over your contract to you. Mike's put a certain amount of money in there for you to spend on a lawyer to look at the contract, so you know it's proper contract. So we kind of expected these contracts to be like 8-year contract with like a year severance. Yeah, severance. Yeah, it's a standard sort of thing, really. Mate, I said to the sports lawyer. The sports lawyer rings me up. He says, I've got this contract in front of me. He said, have you signed it yet? I said, no, I wasn't sure. Like, you know, what do you think? He went, well, I'm telling you, get a fucking pen and sign it. He said, and get yourself sacked from that job as quick as you can. He said, there's full pay up in there. And that was a top sports lawyer saying. I went, really? He went, yeah. He said, he'll pay you up. You know, if it don't go wrong, he's invested in you guys, and he'll settle it within so many days. So we signed his contract. We couldn't believe it. But then it became a bit of a fucking noose around our neck in a weird way, because what happened is, whenever we play another team, all that talk about the opposition staff, like before the game, after the game, have you not signed an 8-year contract? It'd become like, so then we'd start trying to divert the conversation, because we knew Pars would be going fucking Gary ass, like he'd be going mental, saying fucking that contract. So everywhere we play, he'd say, you signed an 8-year contract? So we'd be like, yeah, like playing it down. We're really we think yourself, yeah, we've got 8 years. Mental, you know, and that's how it come about, and that's how we end up signing.
All over a few shots.
It was crazy. It was I can't say it any other way. I can't glamorise it or unglamorise. That was literally how it come about. And I'm not just saying I like Mike just because of that, but it did help. But he was a proper fella, like, you know. Honestly, being in I'm not just saying it, but being in his company is actually a lot of fun. And I know that there'll be people going mental in Newcastle, and I understand that. I generally do. But you could not dislike this man. You know, he had a weirdness about him that was brilliant. A brilliance and a weirdness. And I know that the fucking fans in Newcastle go, you fucking tosser. My poor son will probably get battered on Twitter now because of it. But, you know, I can only speak as I find.
Yeah, you can only speak about your experiences with him, can't you?
Exactly that.
Where was the team at when you signed the contract? Were you flying still?
That's a good question, that. Do you know what? I really don't know if we'd been at the end of the season when we got into Europe or midway through that following season. I think it was at the end of that season, because I think
it's half understandable then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Doing well.
And I think, in fairness, I think Pards have been linked with a couple of really big jobs,
That's
including
what I
the
was
England
about to
job.
ask that question because you went, Pards were like, oh, fucking, I'm getting tied down to an 8-year contract.
Listen, I mean, when you strip it away, we took that Newcastle team from like where it was to Europe. I mean, and we was, I think we was one win off being in the Champions League.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say that now, people say, really? And even I think, fucking hell, we was that close to the Champions League. I mean, that was quite amazing. And it was brilliant.
When you say Pard's been linked with big jobs, Newcastle in the Champions League, there's not that many bigger jobs.
No.
Really, with the size of the club, if the club's doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if he's,
Do you know what I
like
mean?
you said about the England job, if he's getting linked with
we
the England
was getting
job,
the
it's
England
like,
job. And then we played Benfica, and we lost out there. Or did we draw? I can't remember. But then we played them at home, and we lost 1-0 at home. Last kick of the match they scored. We got a standing ovation at Newcastle for losing that game, which I still sends a tingle up my spine. It was unbelievable. But then it was quite amazing how quickly it turned. So we lost that game, but got a standing ovation. I think we played someone like Man City, lost, and then someone else and lost, and then all of a sudden, Sky and all of no wins in 4, no win, and you think, fucking hell, 3 weeks ago we was getting standing ovation,
Yeah, we
and
played-
then it
we played these.
spun like that,
So quick.
and it was really like, it really got ugly at the end, and it was really heartbreaking because I don't think people, and they're not going to realise. Why are they going to realise? But we actually loved it there. We loved the club. We loved the people. I love the people there. I mean, my son lives there. So it's got, and I hope people would respect that. I do generally mean that about Newcastle, the club, the fans, the staff that work there. I speak to them all the time. So you know, when it got ugly, it was really not a nice ugly for everyone because we generally did care.
When I say this is a time where it gets a bit ugly, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
fuck 'em.
when did it get ugly? In time frame from when you got into Europe, it wasn't the next season, was it?
The following season, I'm trying to remember this off the top of my head. I'm sure we started quite badly the following season. We'd lost some players, and I'm sure it was the following season. And then towards the end of that season, I'm saying this off of memory, and I might be corrected. It was mediocre, and then the following season, we had a bad run. I think of like no wins in 6, and then we went on a run of winning 6 on the spin. But it was still ugly. The crowd weren't having it.
Maybe get someone in the head.
And they might hate me for saying this, but they couldn't get to Mike because Mike you just can't get to, you know.
they
So
were
the next
asked.
thing is the manager, and every time Pards stood up, they would boo, jeered, and so he was doomed if he didn't. He wanted to stand up and sort the team out, but it was detriment to the team because the crowd were going mental, and he was like, "Look,
What do I
I'm
do?"
just trying to run the team here."
Did you have conversation amongst yourselves like, fuck me, we've got to be close to the boot here?
No, because we never felt we was close to the boot because we'd
We've
gone.
got fucking 5-4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was
you
really
know it.
bizarre because what happened is we'd had the bad run and then we'd put 6 straight wins together, and I think we beat Everton and we beat Man City at Man City. I mean, it was kind of, and the team you put out at Man City. If you ever get a chance to look at that team, we had like a kid called Rolando Aarons playing, a young boy. We had Adam Armstrong. I think we had Robbie Elliott in goal. We went to his team and we was thinking, oh, this could be a laugh.
We'll take 2-0.
Yeah, and we won 2-1. And so it was like bizarre. And we went on this run, 6-game winning run. And then I think off of memory, and again, I think then Pards then went to Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace come in and it just seemed to, the timing of like, look, we can't, I think from Pards' point of view, it was a case of, look, there's no better time for you, Mike, to let me go for the good of the club, you know. And I don't think Alan wanted to go for 1 minute because he loved Newcastle. And I know people might say, why wouldn't you love Newcastle? It's a fantastic club. It really is, and a great club, great city. But it just was getting to the stage where it was very uncomfortable for Alan, for his family, for all of us.
So, what Palace a better move for Pards or just I'm out of it in that sort of way?
Yeah, I think
You know what
I think at the time Steve Parish was really building something at Palace at that particular time. It was still going through its sort of, you know, been in the Premiership. I think Steve was looking to sort of kick on a little bit more with the club. I think he'd always been an admirer of Pards at that time, and I think, look, people might find this crazy, but Pards was getting linked with some really big jobs at the time. So from Palace's point of view, it was a really good signing. You know,
Cool.
they was getting a man, and look, and I'm not saying this for any bias, Pardew is the top manager. You know, like him or loathe him, whatever your thoughts are on him, you know, his runs, his stats, but he's a very good manager, and he has a way of motivating teams, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of negative people saying stuff, but you know, he's a good manager. So Steve thought he was getting a good deal, you know, getting a manager he'd probably been courting for a few years, and it was maybe a good way of Mike relieving the pressure at the ground.
So how did, when you came to leave Newcastle, how did that happen? Did you?
Yeah, well, that was. So then what happened is he got
Did the 8-year contract come to fruition?
Well,
or not?
you know, this is a funny, painful story.
I get excited when you take a deep
Yeah,
breath.
no, this is one of those moments where you think, wow, this is just unbelievable. So what happened is we got to the end of the season. We just stayed up. We get a message, can John meet Lee Charnley at 2:00, Stoney at 2:30, Woody at 3:00. So we all know we've had this call for. So we said, right, let's meet across the road in the Shark, buy a beer first, and then we'll go up one at a time across, you know, right opposite the ground. So anyway, I'm not gonna lie, we're all like buzzing. Happy days. This is us, you know.
How many years you got left? 3?
5. Still got 5 years left. Yeah, still got 5 years left. So we're all thinking buzzing. So you know, in my head, I'm thinking, brilliant, paid up, Palace, lovely. You know, back home. You know, I don't want to leave my son up there, but football's football. You know, and people might.
But fuck him.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah, on your own, son. But people don't get it in the real world, do they? That football's football. You know, you 1 minute you're in a club, and then 1 minute you're gone. You're not part of anything. So John goes up, and we're at Minstead having a beer, chatting away. John comes, we see him walk across the zebra crossing, and Newcastle fans would know this, the zebra crossing to the Shark Bar. John walks in, he went, sacked. So we're all like, well, yeah, we know that, but go on, what they? He said, no, full pay up. Money being me account in, I think, 7 days. So I'm like, fucking hell. I said, well, look, I'm sorry, John, to be sacked, mate, but I'm fucking buzzing, you know, fucking brilliant. So like, kind of like, want to celebrate, but like it don't feel right. But you know, that's football. You know, and this is the harsh reality of football. Stoney goes up, comes back less than 10 minutes. He said, "Yeah, sacked, paid up 7 days." He said, "They want to see you now." So, oh fuck, you can imagine me. I'm fucking like Rupert the Bear going across the zebra crossing, I'm skipping. I got my peacock feathers up. I'm thinking to myself like, I'm stopping the traffic 1 minute. I'm going to get a 5-year pay up here. Like, hold on. I get in the lift, go up, and like, I'll never forget it to this day. I walk in, and I think I said something like, "Come on in, Lee. Let's sort out the pay up, mate." Like that, you know, just trying to make a joke because I thought, let's not make it awkward for everyone. He went, "Oh no, we want to keep you." I remember going, "You what? You can't do. Why? That's not fair." I'm saying to this guy, it's not fair you want to keep me in a job. I mean, what other bloke says that? And I'm going, no, you paid them up. Oh, I've got to be paid up as well. Well, no. And actually, he did say, "No, Mike loves you." He says, like, you know, you're the reason the contract's because he loves you, wants you to keep you. And I was like, fucking hell. Like, I'm shocked. Like, I'm devastated. But I'm now thinking to myself, well, I better look like I want to stay now because fucking I'm here. So anyway, I go down in the lift. I say, "Oh, cheers, Lee, I appreciate that." And then he must have thought, that's fucked you. He must have thought, that's fucked you. So anyway, I go down in the lift. I walk across the zebra crossing, like no movement.
No Rupert Bear.
No fucking Rupert Bear. No like high-fiving. I walk into the Shark Bar and John is saying again, "Sorted?" "No." "Shut up." And they couldn't believe it. And I said, "Mate, I'm going to have to go home. I've got to tell my wife we're in a job still." And I walked in the house and my missus went, we're packing up. We're done. We're going back to London. I went, "No, they want to keep me." She burst out crying. She burst out crying. She went, "It's so unfair." I'm thinking to myself, what's unfair? We're in work. Like, we've signed a contract, but I'm actually thinking to myself, you're right, it is unfair. Why do we never get paid up? Anyway, and that was it. Like, I stayed. You know, so I toughed it out through the fucking summer. Waiting till they announce a new manager, and all and I've got Pars now saying to me, "Mate, look, I want you to come to Palace." I said, "Well, I can't get out of this contract." Well, look, we're going to have to. I want to take you to Palace. Oh, well, fucking hell. Look, mate, if I can't get out, I'm going to have to get another goalie coach. Now I'm thinking, fucking hell, I'm up against it here a little bit. So I said, look, they want me to go on a pre-season tour to America. And anyway, just prior to that, Lee Charney says to me, look, new manager's being announced, Steve Mclaren. He's really, really delighted you're staying. He wants to meet you. And I'm thinking, fucking hell. I'm going to be so off with this geezer that he's going to think, fuck me, I don't want this geezer to work with me. So literally, right, I turn up a training ground. I've gone through all the emotions of like, I ain't going to like you. Whatever happens, we're not going to get on. And actually, when I think back, it's pretty shit, really. But I thought, I've got to get out of here because, like, you know, he needs his goalie coach. I literally walk in and I've got this somber face, like, I'm going to row with you, try and get us paid up. And he went, Woody, how are you, mate? I'm fucking delighted to see you. Come and sit down. It's a pleasure. I'm so excited to be working with you. I know this is the England manager, right? And I feel myself, fucking hell. What a fucking lovely fella. I feel myself, what a lovely fella. So I feel myself, fuck it, Woody, stay with the game. You don't like him. He's horrible. You don't want to work with him. So he's like, sit down. Tell me about yourself. Oh, I'm in full pantomime mode now. Yeah, I'm a goalie coach. Yeah, but what else do you do? Nothing. Just goalie. Set pieces? No. Like, that's my conversation, like this. Well, I'm buzzing to be with you. We're going to have a good season. This geezer is either not getting it or he knows that I'm playing the game and he's going to just play the game with me, right? Which I think was the actual what it was. Yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking, fucking hell, I've got the nicest bloke in football. I can't fall out with him because it's just like impossible. And he was such, I've got to tell you, a top fella. And I'd like to go on record of apologising. I did apologise to him for my behaviour because I had to get out of the club. But he was such a lovely fella, Parker, do you know what I mean? So anyway, we go to Chicago right now. You can imagine all the staff, the backroom staff, they're all like, fucking hell, you're on the trip. You thought you was going to be going to your mate. Oh, like, they're killing me, right? They're proper killing me. Like, but it's good banter. Thinking, fucking, this is going to be a hard trip. I've got Pard saying to me, what's happening? I said, I've got to go on the trip. I said, I can't just walk out. You know, I've got to sit tight here. Well, look, you're going to have a word with him. So early on, I meet Steve. I said, Steve, look, you know, we need to sort this out. You want to bring your own goalie coaching. I said, I understand that. I said, I know how it works. I'll get a move back to London with my family. I said, like, and I was being like all diplomatic, and he was like, Woody, I'm with you. It couldn't have been any fairer, right? So I'm thinking, he said, look, I'll have a word with the chief exec and I'll come back to you. Let's see if we get a result for both of us. Buzzing. So I rung past and said, look, I think we could be all right. It's going to be sorted. So just hold fire, mate. Anyway, nothing. Nothing. We fly to somewhere else, play a game here, play a game there, nothing. So I'll never forget, we're at Chicago Airport. The fucking cases are coming round, all the fucking cases coming round, like, and my boy comes up to me and my boy knows, like, he's only a young pro at the time. I think in fairness to Steve Mclaren as well, he just given his debut out there. So my boy comes down next to me and he goes, my boy calls me fella. He goes, yeah, you all right, fella? I said, yeah, I'm all right, mate. I said, look, you might want to distance yourself from me. I said, I'm going to have a fucking row here. So he's looking at me going, oh no, Dad, not now. No, I said, look, mate, I've got to do, you know, I've got to get out of this fucking place. So you go and stand over there and just keep yourself out of the way and pretend to put your earphones on. So I could see him thinking, fucking hell, here we go. So literally the case is coming around. Steve Mclaren is just fucking happy. He's like, he's just
that's worse, isn't it?
Mate, he's like, happy guy. I think he's saying things like, is this yours, Woody? Do you want me to grab it? Or
at least like a bit of jet lag, don't you?
He's just like the nicest fella. And I can't tell you, anyone that don't know Steve Mclaren, he's a top fella. And I'm not just saying it because of this situation, but he was ridiculously lovely. And I'm thinking, fucking hell, this is going to be the hardest thing I have to do. But come on, you got to do it. You got to just kick off here. So I said to Simo's his assistant, who's another lovely fella. I said, Simo, what the fuck's going on, mate? He's going up. Oh, we're getting the cases off. No, fucking, what's going on? Just fucking make something out. Is he mugging me off? So I'm building myself up here to have a row with someone that don't even know I'm going to row with him and probably wouldn't row anyway because he's such a beautiful, lovely man. I thought I'd like to say, Steve, how are you? Anyway, Steve turns around and I go, are you taking a fucking piss at me, Steve? And he's like, looking going, what? I said, fucking you mugging me off. Like now I'm creating a scene in Chicago Airport. I've got some of the staff thinking, fucking hell, Woody's kicking off here. And I'm going like, no, fuck it, it's bollocks. Like, you said you'd fucking sort it out and I'm fucking hanging out.
Are the players here?
The players are there, the staff are there, everyone's there. The people that meet you to take you to the next destination, you know, like I think it was like Portland Timbers or something like that. They're there thinking, what the fuck's going on here? I'm kicking off, right? To the point where I'm even thinking, this is getting uncomfortable. Is he getting this or like what? Anyway, they calmed me down, and he said, like, Woody, I didn't know you was that upset about it. I'll get onto it. And like, in fairness, he did, and we forced it. And anyway, I get back to Newcastle, and the chief exec says, look, it ain't working. I said, no, it's not working. I said, look, he's a lovely fella. It's not working. I've got to go. Anyway, we come to the deal. It was by no means the same deal as those other two got, let me tell you. Which still sits there to this day. And those two still say, well, you got the contract, you know. And then I ended up back at Palace with Bart. So that was how it come about. It was a funny old time.
Have you spoken to Mclaren since?
Well, it's funny because then we played obviously Newcastle that season. And I kid you not, and I'm not exaggerating this, where you warm up the keepers at Palace is right by the tunnel where they come out.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to admit this. I was thinking, fucking hell, like, this could be awkward, you know. Like, I was a bit out of order, Steve. How do I address it? I'm thinking, man, how do I address this? Literally, I'm warming the keeper at Wayne Hennessy. He has to come right by the touchline by me, didn't he? Like in the water, just look out. I swear, Woody, how are you? I was like, fucking hell, you are such a top fella. And he come over to me, and I said, I think I said something like, Steve, look, I need to apologise. I was a little out of order, but I hope you understand my reasons. He went, I get it, it's football, don't you? He was brilliant. Like, brilliant. And I you know, I couldn't say anything else. He's just top fella. So that led me on to Crystal Palace.
That's fair play to Mclaren as well, saying, like,
Brilliant.
I understand.
Yeah, he obviously knew, didn't he?
Yeah, mate.
All along.
For me to think that man hadn't been in the game as long as he had and knew exactly how it worked, he was brilliant. And like, could he have dealt with it differently? Absolutely not. He was brilliant. You know, he kind of let me do the sort of like creating.
Clever, innit?
And you know, did it work out for me? No, probably not. But you know, he worked out for him. He let me create all the noise to get his own goalie coaching.
See, that we've always spoke about it in past about players kicking off to get out and get paid up and all that, but that's the first time we've heard about coaches doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have been stuck there. And it wasn't, I didn't want to stay at Newcastle. It really wasn't. I just thought to myself that, look, am I going to see out whatever manager here is for a long time? And I felt like I could get stuck there. You know, where'd you go from Newcastle, job-wise? Yeah. There's Sunderland, you ain't going there. And then there's Hartlepool, which, with all due respect, didn't want to go there just in the rush.
Yeah.
So you I knew I had to get back to London, as painful as that was to leave my son there. But I knew my son was at a point now where he needed not to have me really there as well. He was he
was on his own, mate, like.
Yeah.
One crack, you're on your own now.
Yeah, and I think it was just the right time for him to be Freddie Woodman, not Freddie Woodman, your dad's a goalie coach.
Yeah.
And that was a nice moment for him to just have his own identity. And I think he felt that after a time. Not that there was any problem when we was there, but as you get older, it's going to be a problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Was it good to be back home? Like,
really hard, really hard. Yeah, really hard. My daughter struggled. You know, you have a lot of freedom up in the northeast. You know, a lot of freedom going out, do what you want. It's safer. The people all speak to you. I mean, I'd walk into the newsagents, go, "Morning, how are you?" And the bloke look at me going, "Is he robbing me? Is he going to rob me or something?" Like down here, up there, you speak to some of the newsagents for ages. You know, it really. I can't stress how much lovelier it is up there. And again, I'm just speaking honestly. The people were nice, and the lifestyle was nice. Beaches. I mean, mate, if you told me there was a beach in Newcastle just down the road, before I went, I'd said, "Yeah, cool." Beautiful. You know, I
didn't even know where fucking Newcastle were. Why did there a beach?
I like fucking beach. I was like, people didn't tell me you need a fucking wrap up. It's minus fucking 8. Fucking hell, got there in a t-shirt. But yeah, it was lovely. Yeah, top place. So that was the Newcastle Palace experience.
Another very quick message from one of our sponsors. Who knows wins?
What a game.
What a game. Get involved because we've got the Undr The Cosh Special Leagues. 10 games to choose from. Put your fiver in the pot. Top 10 predictors. Take home the winnings. We had 3 £600 winners last week. So if you fancy getting involved, download the app. The link's in the description. We've put 10 games in. Make your predictions.
Takes your Saturday up another notch.
Yeah, definitely.
True.
Watching Soccer Saturday.
Yeah.
Thank us later, winners.
So you're at Arsenal now, mate. Enjoying it?
Yeah, different setup from all the stories I've told there. To be honest. A bit more professional now. So my professional head comes on. But proper club, good people. And it's nice to see the next generation of young goalkeepers and players coming through.
So you still coach? Are you still on the field?
Yeah,
Day
still
to
on
day?
still on the field. Yeah, so I know you find it probably a bit hard, athlete like myself. But yeah, no, it's good. We've got some good young goalies coming through. Look after the goalies from 23s right down to the 8-year-olds, really, with all my staff and that. So yeah, really, really good. And it's a brilliant club, as you well know. And it's having a bit of a transition at the moment, but hopefully we're on the up. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, obviously we've not been in that level ever, really, have we?
No.
We'll have a bit, but like the difference from Palace to Arsenal now, it must be just fucking gulfs.
Yeah, I mean, to give you sort of like a bit of a heads up on it, I spoke to the chef just before Christmas, and he said to me, how many covers of dinner do you reckon he'd done on this particular day? And he'd done 240 people for lunch. Now that's how many people are at the training ground. So that's staff, players, backup staff. I mean, that's like a little mini city.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I was like, wow, I didn't realise that many people work here. That's the size of it. And listen, it is a brilliant club. It is, I was lucky enough to have a year with Arsene Wenger as well to see him work, and listen, how can he not impress anybody, that man, with what he's done? But
did you go on first team with him, or were you similar?
No, I was in
now?
the role I am now, but I was sometimes over with the first team, helping out with the goalie coaches there. One of them had a hip operation, so I found myself helping out now and again. But what struck me of Arsene is, with all that was going on, and there was a hell of a lot going on, a lot of hatred toward him at the end, which was really not nice to see.
Scandalous, really.
Really was, yeah. And I'm saying that very biased for someone that worked with him for a year. But he never changed his demeanour in the training ground. He was always very polite, very, responsive and plastic. Yeah, and you never saw him flustered once. And I that all struck me of, wow, this guy is pretty much carrying the world of this club on his shoulders, and he hasn't shown any weakness to any of the staff or anybody there in all my time there.
You think that were a self-confidence thing? No, I know I'm doing right.
Yeah, I think
He was
definitely.
accused of being stubborn at times, weren't he?
Yeah, and I think he was stubborn, because I think his beliefs were his beliefs, and I think when you've had the success that he'd had, why would you change your beliefs? I know we could all say, well, Alex Ferguson brought new staff in. This man was very loyal to his staff and very loyal to the people that done well beside him, and he was brilliant. And I was fortunate enough to have a year working with him, from a distance, and he was great. But there's some good people, really good people there now, and hopefully, the club's going to start turning the corner.
Do you miss the day-to-day with the first team, the crack and?
Yes, I do, but I think I've been lucky enough that I've been. It's allowed me to really watch my son play. So, although I've lost it in one hand, I'm kind of getting an experience now that I wanted to have, where I can watch my son play every week and be a dad, albeit a nervous dad when he's playing, because I'm horrendous, and kind of watch him play. So that's kind of been my sort of trade-off now, which I'm really enjoying it.
Well, the thing is, probably best of both worlds, because you've still got a job in football at a fucking incredible club.
Yeah.
But then you simply just say you get to be a dad. And,
yeah,
watch
exactly
your lad play.
Yeah, exactly that. And listen, there's not a day. I don't want to sound like I'm gloating in any way, but there's not a day I don't pull into the training ground at Arsenal and kind of smile to myself, think to myself, wow, this is someplace. Yeah, really, it really is. I mean, listen, we've played at the levels, us guys. We've seen the other side of it. So now when we see this, I think, wow, this is like really where, the elite are.
8-year contract.
I'm not sure, to be fair. I need to check the small print. I said to him I wouldn't sign for anything less than 8. Wouldn't it be nice, eh? I mean, Mike, if you're out there, come on. Just one more. I'm still good.
Just one more.
I'm just still good to go. Let's have
more years.
Let's have one more rodeo. One more rodeo, Mike. It's funny, right? Because where their training ground is, there must be a helicopter path goes over the top. There must be a helicopter place near us. And the guys that every day, I must say every day now, that they say it before me, a helicopter goes over and give it, it's Mike, he's come back to get me. He's come back, I'm here, Mike. I go like, I'm here, Mike. Like that. So hopefully one day you'll think, it's Woody, I'm going to go get him. But good times. And I'm like I say, really enjoying watching the next generation of goalkeeper and hopefully telling them how not to do it like I did. I know.
But as goalkeeper roles change now, isn't it? You used to, same as you said, fucking kick it as long as you can. But now they've all got to be players, haven't they?
Unbelievable. I mean, the amount of work we do now of playing out for the back and, tactics of how the team was set up to do rotations, with it starting from the goalkeeper. I mean, come on, if someone had said that to me and Ackers years ago, Wooders going to play it into the middle, he's going to get it back, then he's going to spread. Ackers would have gone mental. He'd have gone, it's fucking what? I mean, he'd have got fucking no chance. And then, funny, there's one thing I was going to say about Ackers, which is brilliant. I'm trying to go off piece a little bit. But Ackers, do you know Andy Crosby? Have you had anyone here? Andy Crosby. He does he does the best Ackers impression ever, right? Ever. And there was one particular game, right, we played with Ackers. We played, and this comes back to the Arsenal boys. You imagine saying this to Amieng and Pepe and all those players, Leno, on the way back on the coach. We played at Bristol Rovers or City or somewhere like that. I was at Oxford United at the time. We come back on the coach, we lost. And the word come down the coach, no one fuck off. When you get back to the training ground, when you get back to the stadium, put the kit on you wore today and be out on the pitch. We're like, fucking what? So that physio's kind of, look, I'm just passing the message down, no one go, he's fucking fuming. So we're like, that's a wind up, innit? Anyway, it weren't. We got back to the stadium, it's pitch black, the Kassam Stadium. We're all searching for our fucking kit, putting it on. I mean, we're all doing it. Rather than anyone saying, I ain't doing it, we're doing it. We go out on the pitch, it's pitch black. He just run us around the pitch. Saturday night, 8 o'clock in the evening. We just run around the pitch after a game. I mean, imagine saying that to Amieng now. You've lost today, mate. Get yourself down the Emirates. We're going to run you in the dark around the pitch. And don't tread on the corners because I don't know stud marks on the grass. Fuck you know, it's better, isn't it? So, so football has changed, is your answer. I wouldn't change any of that we've done because that, built in some good character to us boys. Yeah. So, good times.
Woody, thanks for coming on, mate.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you were a fucking stopgap.
Thank you.
Listen,
not at all, mate.
If I'm at the end of the DVD in the summer, right, the last little bit with like 10 seconds like story, I'm going to be fuming. I see you all look at each other there, who's going to tell him?
I'll get you on our Tenerife at the end of the year, so I'll be saying get Woody on.
Where's Woody? I really enjoyed it.
Tell Arteta, lads want to take me before days.
It's been brilliant. I really appreciate you asking me to come on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.